dozen state-of-the-art sport facilities, thousands of fans, the fusion of art and science, adrenaline and euphoria, the grand sport, the gigantic mechanism. Watch at Sports Giants. Speed, adrenaline, and flight. A person has always been attracted by the opportunity to feel like a bird. It was for this that once all kinds of flying devices, such as planes, were invented. But to some, to conquer the air, it's enough to get on skis. Athlete jumper, in just 5 seconds, accelerates to the speed of 100 kilometers per hour and for a moment flies a few tens of meters. But for such speeds to become a reality, special conditions are required. In Central Asia today, there is only one complex of the international level, Kazakhstan's Sunkar. It was built in 2010 in Almaty, on the eve of the 7th Winter Asian Games, and it has been successfully tested many times by participants of the world competitions. The sport complex Sunkar consists of 2 large jumps. This is the 125th springboard, the 95th springboard, big tower for judges, well, large stands, which hold about 5,000 seats. The complex is equipped with very modern and special equipment. Every year, after the Asian Games, we hold our big competitions. These are the World Cups, both summer and winter. We are visited by prominent athletes, jumpers, along with coaches, along with their support group. They give a great evaluation, and not only the organization of the sporting event, but also to our trampolines. This is not surprising. According to foreign experts, the Sunkar ski jumping complex is considered one of the best in the world. There are more than 300 springboards of this kind in the world. Almaty ski jumps are among the top 10 springboards in terms of their flying capacity, in terms of their technical equipment. There are 2 springboards. The biggest springboard is the K125. A smaller springboard is the K95. These are 2 Olympic disciplines, at which the highest division of these sport competitions are held. Olympic Games, World Championships are held on these trampolines. Modern jumps are a complicated engineering complex. Therefore, their preparation for winter competitions requires high professionalism. The work begins long before the competitions. What's going on in general? First, these 2 trampolines are covered with a snow-retaining net completely. We do that to make sure that the snow which is already on the mountain doesn't move down, and we start to put more snow on trampolines. The fact is that for buildings of this level, there is not enough of natural snow, and on quality, it does not meet all the requirements. Therefore, according to the rules of the International Federation, its artificial counterpart is used. Such snow is produced with the help of special generators, guns. M18 cannon is used to produce artificial snow. That is, the gun has a compressor, there's a turbine, a weather station, and the main part are injectors that spray water onto small particles. At minus temperature, they fly to the ground until they freeze. That is, it turns into snow. The cannon works from the computer, the main box with the microcircuits and the computer. The machine manages everything. You can set the gun. If there is a warm temperature in the cannon, it automatically turns off. Accordingly, water approaches to it. At the bottom, there is a pumping station, where water is supplied under pressure. It is fed into a gun through the hydrant, and the compressor from the turbine sprays the snow in the air. The range of the gun is up to 70 meters. On the slopes, it is lowered on a special winch. and try to cover as much of the surface area as possible. The productivity per day under good weather conditions is about 400 cubic meters of snow. In general, the gun makes a huge pile of snow. Then a huge car comes. It is called retrack. They're used on the ski slopes and are used here on the trampolines. Well, given that this is a specific design, the Almaty springboard and in general springboards as such are one of the most complex sports facilities of all sports facilities. We will assume for winter sports, immediately high professionalism is required in order to ride on this retreating hill, here and there, and evenly cover the snow. Even more importance is attached to the preparation of the ski tracks themselves. By standards, it must be necessarily icy. After laying the snow, about 2 to 3 tons of water poured out onto the mountain. It turns into an ice mass, and then the machine goes there. It is called the freeze, this machine, which cuts the trail. There are knives, and on this car you drive and cut. This also takes several days. This work requires a very slow pace. You bring these trampolines to perfection. 3 centimeters should be the depth of this ski track, because already the height of 2.5 centimeter is the ski itself. Here is this jumping ski. This is done to make sure that skis glide on the trampoline stable and strong, so that the athlete can fully accelerate the speed, push and fly out of this track. The ideal match with the parameters is an integral condition of the competition. After jumping from the trampoline, this is a high-tech and traumatic sport. Because of the huge speed of the skier's flight, any mistake can lead to fatal consequences. At stake, health and sometimes the lives of athletes. First of all, what is taken into account? The overclocking is in progress. The speed of the athlete is very high. In general, everything should be perfect. There should be no potholes, no hillocks, no holes, because if during fly or jump the athlete will turn over, it will be our fault. If there would be something wrong with the track, the athlete will crash. The sportsman is gaining speed, he's skiing, and if the athlete falls, it is only because something skidded on the ski. Something went wrong, that something had spread out. Well, it is the responsibility of those who have prepared this ski track. And in this regard, it is very fine jewelry work. But to put snow on the slopes and prepare a nice ski track, it's still half the battle. It is important then to save the result. In conditions of a mild southern winter, such a task is one of the main tasks. Therefore, the trampolines in the complex Sunkar are equipped with a special cooling system. The unit itself is filled with the ethylene glycol refrigerant, and along the whole dispersal there are tubes. The refrigeration unit chases this ethylene glycol in a cooled form. Due to this, the ice remains solid and does not melt. In principle, the whole system. This is the heart of our refrigeration unit. That is, here we have all the electronics, switching cabinet and power supply. Also we see 2 consoles showing the temperature of the top and bottom temperature. The installation works in such a way that if the temperature drops in relation to the bottom by 2 degrees, it starts up. As soon as the temperature stabilizes, the unit enters standby mode. Everything works automatically. If it was set up once, it works pretty well. The only thing needed is monitoring and control. In 2016, this cooling system helped to hold important competitions for the country. The second stage of the World Cup in ski jumping, the first time in Kazakhstan, and in extreme conditions when the snow everywhere has melted. In those days, the temperature reached 20 degrees Celsius. All of Europe at this time cancels the competition. We, because we got the first time the right to hold such a competition, we could not fail to hold them. And thanks to our professionalism, we held these competitions. The whole world was surprised how Kazakhs managed to hold such competitions at 20 degrees temperature of heat. So far the whole world has been talking about this. Only a few know what kind of work it was, but all the technical staff worked almost round the clock. The ski was constantly polished, cut, laid with snow. At nights, they tried to catch the moment when the temperature dropped to at least 0 degrees.
Приехали все звезды мировые этого вида спорта, мировые знаменитости приехали. Стартует последний спортсмен.
All the world stars came to the sport. World celebrities arrived. After the last athlete starts, the whole ski track, the entire length is covered with snow. Of course, this snow then it still melts. You clean it, lay a new one. From 6 a.m. to 12 noon. This work was certainly not visible, so to speak. It was a kind of behind-the-scenes work. But nevertheless, it turned out well. The main result was that we were able to surprise the whole world. How did it happen? Here everyone was already wearing t-shirts and shorts, foreigners especially. They were so wild before that. Even our city Almaty residents were surprised, who came to see this tournament. There are no snow anywhere in the city. Everything has already melted away. Of course, 20 degrees. The snow remained only on our trampolines. But now this experience makes it possible to extend snow training to athletes almost to the middle of spring.
Мне прыжок понравился?
I liked the jump.
Понравился, да? Мне кажется.
Even if there are errors, the work is still good. I feel that I'm standing, not pushing.
Хорошая работа, сейчас самый лучший прыжок за всю тренировку.
Good job. The best jump for the whole workout. Look, it went well. Here I immediately started working without stopping. His shoulders no longer yang. Look, you see, the hit was. There is a little movement, of course, a little bit. You need to pull your shoulders a little on takeoff. Still a little bit too close, but at the same time, from the hip you start work. Already good. Everything is normal. Pavel Vasilyev, head coach of the national team of Kazakhstan, on ski jumping. He has been working with the athletes for 16 years, in the national team for 1.5 years. He himself was once an athlete. We were preparing for the contests on the old constructions. In comparison with them, the modern complex is a new opportunity, which formerly flying skiers did not even dream of, the veteran of sports shares.
Sunkar отличный трамплин.
Sunkar is a great trampoline. We adequately conducted the Universiade. The level of the Universiade was consistent with the Olympic Games. This is not only my opinion. This is the opinion of many experts who have been in our sport for a long time, and not only in our sport. If the trampoline is well prepared, as we have here now, an ideal ski track, the depth of the ski track is also ideal. The athlete is riding confidently. He's not afraid that his ski will jump out and he will fall before he reaches the landing on the overclocking table, and this gives him confidence. When the mountain is well prepared, he will land with certainty. This gives confidence, and the athlete jumps better. Konstantin Sokolenko is a young athlete, but he has been engaged in this sport for 15 years. Admittedly, today he cannot imagine his life without jumping. He works not only on range of flight, but also on technology, acceleration, separation, jump, and landing. It is important to correctly execute each element.
Все складывается в одно целое результат.
Everything is a single result. If you have good skis, well-prepared skis, you showed good speed. You performed 100% of your jump. You got in good weather here, and there are medals and everything there. Each team has a doctor, a therapist, a serviceman, 2-3 coaches, because one does not have time for everyone, and sometimes an individual coach is needed to work with the athlete.
Индивидуальный тренер, чтобы спортсменом поработать.
Очень хороший прыжок, отлично.
Very good jump. Excellent, excellent jump. Well done, Konstantin. Yes, he jumped very well. This is the sixth jump for today's training, and here the first jumps he did not work out. Now the task of today, excellent jump, is fulfilled. We're going to the hall. There will be a general training with the barbell. Tomorrow we will continue on the trampoline. Konstantin himself is sure that for the mastering of skills, the Almaty complex fits much better than the European analogs, where he had to train.
Мне наши трамплины вообще.
I like our trampolines. They please me more, because here, well, as they say, even walls in your native house help, and the trampolines are more familiar. And they're still new, a new profile, a new mountain of landing. There are no serious mistakes here or any complications. On a day on the trampoline, a young skier rises 10 to 12 times. Previously, it would be simply impossible, Pavel recalls. Today, for the convenience of athletes, cable lifts are provided. There are no restrictions on the number of trainings.
Сейчас намного проще стало. Когда я прыгал, мы ходили пешком.
Now it's much easier. When I jumped, we walked. Therefore, while climbing here, we would have 4 to 5 jumps. That's it. No effort is left on the jumps. We need an explosion. We need only one jump, only very fast. When walking on foot, the muscles are completely different. This prevents distance jumps too. The complex Sunkar is also unique in that it has in its arsenal training for children's jumps. Children from 10 years of age are engaged here for free. The state provides them with even an individual form tailored to European standards, helmets, skis, and all the necessary equipment. In 2013, we built training jumps. This is the 60th trampoline, the 40th trampoline, and the 20th. These trampolines are for training, because 7th Children's Sports Junior School trains on the territory of the sports complex. About 400 children are engaged in the sport. We have excellent trainers who are engaged individually with each child and bring to the level of large athletes. And here it is, many of the competitions that take place here, especially the Student Universiad, it just gave impetus to parents to believe that it is possible to bring their children to the championship titles. Already the strong shift is growing for the future. In 3 to 4 years, new champions will appear in Kazakhstan. Coaches believe in their awards. Recently in Russia, beginning jumpers from Kazakhstan were able to take 6 out of 9 medals contested. This is the result of quality training on modern trampolines.
Прыжки в Алмате зародились в 1950 году.
Ski jumping started in 1950s in Almaty, and since that time, we have a very good history of jumping. We have repeated winners of the USSR championships. We have participants in the Olympic Games and have an excellent result at the international level. And earlier, at the time of the USSR, there were 2 very strong schools. This is in Gorky and in Almaty. The main part of athletes was from here, from Almaty. And we won the whole of the USSR with one city of Almaty. There are about 70-80 jumping centers only in one city. We all won before. Now we're trying to revive these traditions.
Сейчас стараемся возродить эти традиции.
Moreover, skiers can be engaged here all year round. After a complete melting of snow, the sports object passes to the summer mode of operation. And instead of ice in the training field, there is a special ceramic coating.
Разгоняется по керамике.
Ski jumpers train on a ceramic surface. It is pollinated by water. In principle, it is the same speed, the same range, the same slip as on the ice. And in the summer, athletes land on these green brushes. They're watered too, so that they're perfectly slippery. Complex is equipped with restrooms, locker rooms, and showers. It has its own medical unit, where doctors and psychologists work with athletes. The health of our athletes is good. Every year, we constantly observe the state of their health. We constantly conducting detox programs. For example, for the liver, we constantly restore vitamins, microelements. We give amino acids for strength. These are all the drugs we constantly take, because a person must constantly recover on time. In general, there are not so many sports facilities of this scale in the world, and the ones that are located on middle reaches are only few. Therefore, with the opening of the complex, Kazakhstani flying skiers have the opportunity to enter a new stage of preparation. Now they can fight with the strongest jumpers of the world and achieve excellent results for the joy of their fans.